I felt that this was a good time to kind of step away from my role at a full service advertising agency at the time.
So take us a little bit on that journey, how you came to a point where it was a no-brainer for you to integrate your spiritual side back into, these like spending time and having trained in structures and performance-driven environments.
And it's true, actually, my spiritual journey started not long after my first daughter was born. I started joining women's circles and doing a lot of inner work, but on the spiritual side. Since then, I've trained in pranic healing and I'm a breathwork facilitator. And I love the fact that can be integrated with proven techniques, in my case, advertising. But really what had happened was I was hiding a lot of that growth from the people that I worked with in the corporate environment. When people would say, "Oh, what'd you get up to this weekend?" It was unlikely I was going to say, had a weekend away in a women's circle and describe the sort of things that we were doing there. So over time, it was feeling less and less, it was feeling more incongruous, is the word I want to use. And you mentioned there was a long gap. And indeed, it wasn't until after my twin daughters were born that things started to shift a lot more rapidly. They were born in 2011. And you mentioned surrogacy at the beginning. And I'm sure we'll tell a bit more of that story. But at the point that they were born, there's a lot of confusion around surrogacy in a lot of countries. And the UK, it's not entirely clear, or at least it was less clear 15 years ago when my daughters were born, about what that meant for women in the workplace. And incredibly, surrogacy offered no maternity leave. You
Interesting.
could have maternity
Okay.
leave, paid maternity leave, if you were adopting or giving birth to a child. But surrogacy was this grey area and there was nothing. So I felt that this was a good time to kind of step away from my role at a full service advertising agency at the time